morning everyone, I hope you're all happy and well. It's Carol here at Oak House Journals and I'm going to do assignment number 14 in Margarete Miller's weekly collage planner challenge for 2023. So the prompts for, that was a kitten climbing up the back of the chair, sorry about that. The prompts for this week are a border or a frame. So I've got this page out of Sarah Midden's book and I will use that as my frame. The next prompt is a handwritten measurement. Well, I'm very lucky to have a packet of architectural drawings. So these are either Japanese or Chinese, I don't know. They're on vellum and they have measurements detailing the land area or square meterage of properties. So there's that one and there's also this one showing the meterage of those three properties there. So I'm going to be using a portion from either one of these. So I'm going to pop that to one side. Something with a lid or a cover. Well, I made these a while ago and these are little journaling spots, and if I flip it open, this would go inside a journal. You'd write inside there and it just folds up, and there is a little magnet on the back, so you can probably just hear that it closes. So I've got that one, and this has a cover to it, but only on the front because the back is normally glued onto your journal page like that. Now there is a tutorial on these if anyone is interested, and I'll try and remember to put the link in the description box below this video. So as I say, there is a cover but only on the front, so I thought that that still would hit the prompt because it says something with a lid or a cover. Got this one that I've just shown you, and I've got this little one. This one doesn't have a magnet on it, but it's just a bigger edition of this, so I might use one or other of these, probably the larger because it's going to be a better scale or a better size for my page. So I've made that decision right away, so I'm just going to pop this one to one side. The next prompt is the front or the back of a playing card. So I've got a playing card here. I've chosen the number 13 because that's a lucky number for me. A leaf or leaves, well, you might well recognize this lovely package here, and this was a package that my lovely friend Jeff sent me, and inside he's created some background papers and he's die cut a few leaves. So I've got, they look like beech leaves there, so I've got 3 of those in grey, and then bless his cotton socks, he's done me some oak leaves. By rights I ought to use the oak leaves, so I'm going to leave out those 3 and I'm going to pop these away and use them in another project another day. So let's pop those in there. And the bonus, something torn. Well, I've got a piece of an old indenture here. Now this is an original piece, and what I thought I would do would be to use this signature on the back. So let's get going. I've got my usual sheet of card to work on and my frame is drawn round, so I'm working inside that frame. I do have a couple of little extra pieces that I may or may not use depending on my want. I've got some wallpaper here and I might use this as my background when I've actually worked out how big my piece is going to be, because I may decide that I want to have a piece of this behind everything just so that it stands out against this white background. So I might use that, or I might use these paint chips. I've got oodles here, but the ones that I'm particularly leaning towards are these beautiful, I would say olive green colour, but they're actually called the Tortoise and the Hare. Fabulous name, and I think this might be a better match for using this on my page. In fact, it is the perfect match as opposed to that, but we shall see. I might actually mount this and then maybe use this for my background. I don't know. I've got them to play with if I want to. Okay, so the first thing to do, take this frame, cut round the outside of it. For that, I'm going to use my guillotine. Let's see how carefully I can do that. This is a little bit wide still, this one, so I'm just going to take a little bit more off it. So now you can see why I'm thinking that it might be nice to have something as a background, because this doesn't really show up very well on here. So let's have a look. I'm thinking I will have this on here. So this is my playing card. So I think it might be nice to have that there. Thinking I'd like to make use of this lovely border on here. So that's what I'm trying to do there. Let's have a look at my leaves. Maybe those down there like that. I could have one there and one there. No, I think I'd like to have that one there. Yeah, I'm quite liking how that looks. I may well put this up here, so I think it would be nice to balance that off, but we shall see. Let's have a look at what the paint chips look like. See, I think that would be really nice on there. It's a shame it isn't a full piece, because I really like that. Okay, let's have another one. This might be too much, but I can just have a look, can't I? See, I'm actually quite liking that. I could have this up here. I could even have that on the top there like that to hide that gap up there. I am liking that, but I'm wondering how this is going to look. This is my torn piece and I've got to get my measurement on as well. So I could have that down there, knock that down so that the name isn't showing. I'm going to take that out. That's a nice feature, that one. I don't really want to lose it if I can. Actually, that's quite nice up there. I think I would probably try getting rid of a little bit of this. Let's have a look at this. The trouble with this now, even though it's beautiful, is that it is on quite thin paper. And I think it might be not enough to cover up this writing there. Such a shame that's up there. If I put this on here, I'm going to lose that lovely little bit of scroll work, which is such a shame because it would be nice to keep it. And this is all lost if it's together because the colour is too similar. I might be forcing it a little bit too much by having that green there. Okay, so let's take that away and see what it looks like if I take those away and just use it to frame this image here. So let me take those away. I could work that in there like that, and then I could have my leaves tucked in there like that. I'm liking that it's making this stand out a lot better than it did before. I've trimmed down one of the paint chips so that it's marginally bigger than my little journaling spot there, and I really like the placement that I've got here. So what I'm going to do is to put a bit of glue behind these pieces to hold them in place where I want them. So I'm thinking with my leaves I'm going to have them peeping out from underneath this journaling spot, but also have them going outside the actual border itself. So let me see what that looks like when I close it down. Yeah, put a bit of glue behind these pieces as well. There's my little journaling spot. I'm just going to ease it back and put a little bit more glue under this corner here. There we go. Okay, so I'm liking that. And already I'm thinking I shouldn't have glued that leaf down, because if I want to slide some text under here, I'm going to be snookered. So I'm just going to lift this up now. I should have thought about that before I glued it down, and hopefully I should be able to get away with it not being glued down, which I am. Phew, that was lucky. Okay, because I need to get this under here, that I will rip across the bottom. By doing that, it nicely covers up this writing that's down there. Reduce the width a little bit. So that's going to be my something torn. I'm going to glue that in place now. and then glue my leaf down. So I'm just going to open up this again, put a little bit of glue under this edge, go back in and glue my leaf. Honestly, however long you craft, you still make the silliest of mistakes. This is very, very delicate paper. It was an old vintage receipt, and this is the what would be the carbon copy, as you can see from the number up there. So that closes down like that. I'm just going to flex that again. There's no magnet on this one, unfortunately. It would have been nice had there been a magnet, because that would have held it closed better. I have to decide now where to put my handwritten numbers or measurement. So I'm wondering whether to use it behind like that. Obviously get rid of that and have something like that. You can see the numbers there. Let's have a look at this one. This one probably isn't the best. I could do that and have the handwritten measurement down the side there. I'd take it away there. I've been playing around with both these pieces. I didn't intend to use both, but I quite like the scale, the measurement scale down here. Unfortunately, that is not a right angle. This line actually slopes, because it would have been nice to have trimmed it so that it just framed that top corner. On this side I can make use of this, so I'm going to tear it across in front of this symbol here and down the side, and just get a small portion, that small portion of measurement there. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll decide whether I'm going to use that scale there as well. I'm not quite sure at the moment, so let's just do this one, because I know I definitely want to use this one. Put this behind, and I'm liking just having those numbers there. I'm going to do the same on this side. This one down in here. It takes me marginally over my border. I quite like how it looks, so I'm wondering about pulling this down a little bit and having this one up here. So I'm going to lift my hands away. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that, everybody. The measurements are very, very delicate and just sit nicely there, I think. And by having one on either side, it sort of balances it up. That's my piece ready to be glued down onto the page. What I need to decide now is whether or not I'm going to go in with more of the paint chips or not. I think the answer probably will be no, but I just want to have a quick look and see if I want to do that. I like how this looks here. I could pull that over there and just have that there, just so that I've got a little bit of green. My only problem is I've got a gap there, but I could live with that. It's not going to work as well at the top with another paint chip, because I will have another gap and nothing to hide it here. I think this won't work, but I'm going to rip a piece and see before I make my mind up. So I've cut out a piece of the wallpaper to the right size, and I absolutely love how it looks. I've cut out one big piece that goes all the way round, and you can just make out the numbers at the side. And I was thinking that I would actually just leave it exactly like that, because I was liking it so much. Sorry, I'm having to hold it down because the paper wants to curl a little bit. But I also trimmed down these paint chips, and I liked how these looked as well without the wallpaper behind. And if I put them in with just a hint of the dark green showing, it's a little bit fiddly, but I can do it. Just a hint of the dark green showing. If I'm hoping that if I hold it like that, you can see. And I love that as well. So I'm going to use them both. I know it's absolutely crazy, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use them both. So I'm going to glue these all in place, and I'll be back when that's done. And this is the final piece, everybody, and I have to say I'm really pleased with it this week. So very quickly, let's go through the prompts. A border or a frame? Well, I've got this inside piece here with the frame on it, which came from the Sarah Midden book. A handwritten measurement, well, I've got one lot down the side there and another lot down the side there. Something with a lid or a cover, well, this is my little journaling spot there, which if I hold that and pull it open, there we go, that's my journaling spot. A leaf or leaves, well, I went for leaves, I've got 2 of them there. And bonus, something torn. Well, I've got this signature down here, and I've missed something. What have I missed? Oh yes, front or back of a playing card. And this is it in the background there. So my extras were my little piece from the roll of wallpaper, the very soft green there, and also the little pieces of paint samples or paint chips. So thank you so much as always, everybody, for watching. I hope you like this one as much as I do, and I really hope that you'll find time to join me next week for assignment number 15. But until then, have a great week, and I hope you get some crafting in. So until then, take care, everybody. Bye bye.